Now, the Canadian immigration has been reformed under the Liberal government since 2014 or 2015 when they've been in power, and we've seen big changes coming in after the first Liberal term came in, Liberal government came in. Now, with Mark Carney stepping in as the Prime Minister and assuming he will stay for the next full term, that is, next 4 years, what should we expect in immigration system? The federal elections in Canada have wrapped up, and we have our new government, and it appears that the Liberals are back in power. Our new Prime Minister, Mark Carney, will be leading the country going forward. April 28th was the day of federal elections, and after a day of polling and counting, we have our results. Now, given that Liberals are back in power and appears that they will make a minority government, what should we expect in Canadian immigration? How this is going to affect going forth the Canadian immigration targets and Canadian immigration procedures? That's all what we are going to talk about in this video, so stay tuned until the end. Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Dhruv. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. At our firm Effizient, we assist all prospective immigrants with their immigration to Canada. If you are an aspirant, you need assistance, here is our contact information. Feel free to contact us and we would be happy to assist you. If you would like to talk to me or any other RCIC in our firm with regards to your particular case, you can book a meeting with us. The link to book a meeting is in the description of this video. So as the elections have wrapped up and as the counting is still in progress, but we have clear indication that the Liberals are back in power. But before we go into their implications on Canadian immigration, let's quickly answer the comment of the week. This comment comes on our video on PR portal process, and the question is, I have applied for my PR card renewal in June of 2024 and I'm still awaiting a response. What can I do? So the answer to the question is the PR card renewal processing time online shows 9 days. Here you can see on the screen the average PR card processing time. Now, if your has been under process since June of 2024, that's almost a year since your application is under process. In such cases, either there may be one of those situations where your file just got stuck because of luck, or there may be something that requires investigation in your case. It could be questions about your residency obligation. It may be questions about other eligibility with regards to your permanent residence. In the past, we've seen applications being held for a long time in cases where the applicants do not meet or do not appear to meet the residency obligation, or in cases where the applicant received their permanent residence through spousal sponsorship, and now there have been some problems in the marriage, and then the government takes a little more time to process these kind of applications. So if you are in these situations, then it may be okay for the long durations. Otherwise, you should contact IRCC. I hope this helps. Now, guys, looking at the election results from the 2025 federal election in Canada, it appears that the Liberals have 168 seats. The Conservatives have 144. The Bloc Québécois has 23, NDP 7, and Green Party 1 seat. Now, in order to make a majority government, you need 172 seats. Now, this means another wave of liberal minority government is what is expected in this liberal term as well. Now, first, let's talk about what this means. First of all, with the Liberal Party coming back into power, our new Prime Minister is going to be Mark Carney. Mr. Mark Carney served as the interim Prime Minister when Prime Minister Justin Trudeau resigned, and the new Liberal Party leader was chosen to be Mr. Carney, and he has been our Prime Minister before the elections were called. Now, Mark Carney has a very solid track record in terms of his educational qualifications and in terms of his work experience. He is a Harvard and University of Oxford graduate. He did his bachelor's at Harvard University, which is the top university, and followed by his post graduation at the University of Oxford. With regards to his experience in the field, he has had tremendous experience in the sector of economy, working for big firms like Goldman Sachs. He has served as the governor of Bank of Canada. He has served as the governor of Bank of England. And mind you, he was the first non-British citizen to have been appointed as the governor of Bank of England. He has served as an advisor to the prior Liberal government. He has been on the board of big companies like Bloomberg, and overall, he is a person with tremendous experience in finance, in economy, and his experience comes from the field. So he is not a career politician. He has been in the industry. He has worked in companies, he's worked for the government, he's worked for Bank of Canada, Bank of England. So he brings tremendous amount of experience, which is truly needed in today's Canadian economy. From that perspective, it seems like Canada seems to be in good hands with a prime minister who is highly skilled and highly knowledgeable. I don't think we could find a more qualified prime minister in terms of qualifications. Not sure about his uh, political skills. However, with regards to his educational and work experience, his background is pretty solid for a prime minister. Now, with Mark Carney stepping in as the prime minister and assuming he will stay for the next full term, that is, next 4 years, what should we expect in immigration system? Now, the Canadian immigration has been reformed under the Liberal government since 2014 or 2015 when they've been in power, and we've seen big changes coming in after the first Liberal term came in, Liberal government came in, and followed by that there were open immigration policies. We had a lot of international students being accepted into Canada. We had big programs like the 75 CRS cutoff express entry draw. We had the TR to PR program, and we had quite a liberal immigration policies for a while until 2023 and starting 2024, when the government started to cut down. The government started to realize that they are not able to keep up with regards to the resources, with regards to healthcare, housing, given the high number of immigrants coming in. And that's when the Liberal government started cutting down on immigration. This was followed by a reduction in immigration targets for permanent residents. There was a cap on international students, which greatly reduced the intakes, so much so that a lot of the colleges that were feeding on international students are shutting down campuses. They are laying off people, and now they are on the brink of bankruptcy. Now, the common narrative was the Liberal government was doing all of this until the elections. Canadian economy is reliant on immigration, and once the elections are over, we may see the policies go back to normal. Now, case one is the Liberal government goes in and reverses its harsh stance on immigration at the moment and brings the immigration back to normal, wherein they start accepting more of international students and start opening up all the PR programs that either they had restricted or shut down. Case number two is they continue on the stance that they have taken at the moment, where they have restricted some of the PR programs, they have limited the intake, and they have put a cap on the international students. And case number three is even harsher, which may have been the case if conservatives were elected, which is that they even further reduce the targets, put more caps, and decrease the immigration even more than what it is to right now. Guys, in my opinion, we are going to stay like this. That is the case number two is the most likely outcome given the current economic conditions, given the current economic outlook, and given the housing crisis and healthcare problems that Canada is facing. I think the Liberal government is probably going to stick with the current duration targets and the current caps that they put on international students. Of course, they may open up or be more acceptable to folks and they've always been to the folks who are coming to the top universities, scholars who want to study here. However, a lot of those programs that were a pathway to immigration would be seen or would continue to see restrictions. And with regards to the permanent resident numbers, I think those plans are not going to change anytime sooner, at least until later part of this year. And once we see those new numbers, we would know better how the wind is blowing. However, it does seem because liberal government is who created these policies, they may stay the same. And given Mark Carney being the prime minister has a very strong background in economics and finance, he may not do anything that hampers with the Canadian economy or the ability of Canadians to find employment in Canada. Now, given this election result, as an immigrant, what can you do? Guys, this result really doesn't change anything. If the government was changed, if the conservatives came, you had to take big actions. However, with this outcome, really the actions stay the same. You have to continue working towards your permanent residence either through one of the categories under Express Entry or one of the regional programs, be it RCIP, FCIP, or the Atlantic Immigration Program, or any of the PNP programs. French is going to play a key role. It will continue to do so, and you have to ensure that you continue on that path in order to secure your permanent residency. Please don't leave or stop doing what you're doing thinking that the new liberal government is going to open the borders and ease all the restrictions, and then it will all be rosy and you'll get your permanent residence. This is very unlikely, or even this happens, it's a bonus for you, but don't count on that. Immigration always happens in waves. So we had a high rising wave and now we are sort of on the decline, and then we may see a rise again, but it may be some time before we go back to the rise, or before the labor market again starts seeing the need for more immigration. This is what happened back in 2015 after the Harper government. There was a need for a lot of young workforce to fill Tim Hortons, to fill McDonald's, to be able to work in Canada, and that's what Trudeau government policies was able to fulfill. However, at this point, it seems like we have enough folks over here already who have lately immigrated, or who are temporarily here, who are able to fill those needs. So going forth, we may see a rise again in immigration, but it may not be as quick as you would expect. So continue doing what you are doing, and hopefully you will reach your target goal. That's it for this video, guys. So in summary, we have our new Prime Minister, Mark Carney. I feel very optimistic about this. He is a great economist. He is a very educated, highly qualified, highly skilled person, and he did lead us out of the 2008 financial crisis. And if you remember, Canada was one of those countries in G7 which was not very much impacted by that crisis, whereas the entire world economy collapsed. So, a good person to lead our country, and we are really in the need of strong leaders at this point. And I hope he will lead our country into great heights and make it great again. That's it for this video, guys. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon so you are notified about any new video that we upload. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.